The sound.
The sound.
The sound of Herefordshire and Worcestershire.
And all the music you love. The music you love. BBC.
Hereford and Worcester.
Well, here we are, made it to Wednesday night. So much chat about the coronation that, it's hard not to know it's happening. Although I did mention it to my son earlier today and he was like, what? What coronation? Dear, oh dear. Finger on the pulse. Anyway, we've got a bank holiday weekend, which I think is now what he's focusing on. A number of them actually coming up. So looking forward to that. Tonight on the show, we're going to talk about another big event that is going on during the weekend of the coronation. Badminton horse trials. I know. Massive international sporting event. Admittedly, if you're not really into horses, you might not be a fan. But it is a huge big deal and it's happening across that weekend. We're going to welcome the director to the airwaves in the next 20 minutes.
Kate Jones.
Yesterday, you can care all you want. Everybody does, yeah, that's okay. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You're one of my kind. I need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. How do you feel? I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't think at all. What you gonna do? Gonna live my life. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You are my kind. Oh. I need you tonight, 'cause I'm not sleeping. There's something about you, girl, that makes me sweat. So how do you feel? I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't think at all. What you gonna do? Gonna live my life. How do you feel? I'm lonely. What do you think? Can't think at all. What you gonna do? Gonna live my life. So slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. So slide over here and give me a moment. I've got to let you know. I've got to let you know. You're one of my kind.
Oh, Michael Hutchence. In Excess, they're doing Need You Tonight. What a song. It's just so grabby, isn't it? It's a grabby song. On the way, we've got a bit of Keen Ducrot. He's dead good. And the great anthem of 2023, Can't Tame Her by Zara Larsson. Can't believe it's 2023 already. One of the other mildly amusing things my kids said to me the other day, we were talking about something that happened in the past, as in before they were born. My son was like, yeah, I mean, it was in the last century, man. It was in the 20th century. Yeah? Which to him is like such ancient history. And of course, you know, I lived in it for a long time, didn't we all?
You do want me, give me little sugar. If you don't want me, don't leave me on down. But if you need me, show me that you love me. And when I'm feeling blue and I want you, there's just one thing that you should do. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, to show me that you're mine, girl. Oh, yeah. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my darling, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right. If you do want me, give me little sweet talk. If you don't want me, don't leave me on, girl. But if you need me, show me that you love me. And when I'm feeling down, wearing a frown, you'll be there when I look around. And just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right. But just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, to show me that you're mine, girl. Oh, yeah. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my darling, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right. Just give me some kind of sign. Ooh, sign. Just give me some kind of sign, girl. Oh, my baby, to show me that you're mine, girl. All right. Just give me some kind of
Tame her. Anyway, shortly we're going to speak to Jane Tuckwell, who is actually the director of the badminton horse trials. How on earth she's found 10 minutes to chat to me on the show when we're so close to the event, I don't know. And if you're not familiar with badminton horse trials, I'll tell you it is one of the most prestigious horse competitions in the world that's sort of outside racing. It's 3-day eventing. It happens in Gloucestershire, so not that far away, but people come from all over the world, not just to watch, but to compete as well. So it's a big, big international deal. And I mean, if you like horses even just a tiny bit or know someone who does, you'll probably have heard of it. Even if you just live not that far away, you'll know exactly what goes on. Completely non-horsey people might occasionally confuse it with an actual trial, but it's not that kind of trial. No, it's a sporting trial. So the horses have to do dressage and then show jumping and then cross country. I think it's in a different order than that. But it's going on this year, across the weekend of the coronation. There's a lot of royal connections as well with badminton. It's held on the estate of the Duke of Beaufort. And the current Duke just happened to be the Marquis of Worcester before. So when his father passed away, the title of Duke of Beaufort was passed to him. But up until then, he was the Marquis of Worcester. I don't think that particularly meant anything to him. But, you know, it's a Worcester connection, isn't it? Yeah, it's Worcester. And in fact, that meant that his name, his surname was Worcester. as a result of that. How regal is that? Yes, so he's Mr. Worcester. Well, Marcus Worcester. Anyway, he's not anymore. He's the Duke. So he lives there, but I think he's going to be at the coronation. So, I mean, he won't be there for the gig, the event, the sport. Anyway, there's quite a lot of excitement around this big prestigious horse competition going on during this very big prestigious royal time as well. How are they going to handle it for the crowds? There's going to be lots of people who love the royal family at the event. But the good news is you don't have to choose. You don't have to pick which one to watch, which one to do. They will be pausing the action, I'm reliably informed, for the actual coronation and showing it on the big screens. I'm going to get Jane, the director of badminton, to talk us through the ins and outs in more detail and why they've decided to do it, how they're doing it. She's going to join me in the next 5 minutes.
BBC Hereford and Worcester.
It's
I had a 4-year hustle plan that was the bomb. I would go to school in the daytime, and I would pay for it at night.
Excuse me, can I get some service?
Everything was cool.
See you tomorrow?
In class. At least until I met Trix and Ronnie.
Hey, how much money you make working here?
I make enough.
Use what God gave you. Stop messing with this chump change.
Where y'all dance at? The Players Club. The Players Club was owned by this lowlife named Dollar Bill.
I'm Dollar Bill!
And his sleazy sidekick, Little Man.
Have anybody ever told you you look just like the father from Good Times?
The money was fast and easy, and I needed it.
What's up, new booty? How you doing?
The only good thing in the place was the DJ.
I was thinking, though, that maybe that I could, get your number or something.
So where you taking my little girl tonight?
Just to the movies and then right back home, Mr. Armstrong.
But I had no idea.
People at school got something to say.
Word on the streets that you out there dancing butt naked at the Players Club.
How bad things could get.
We tired of playing, but today you gonna die.
I'm sick of this place.
New Line Cinema presents
Starting to smell like Aqua Boogie.
Start the music.
Jamie Foxx.
We got Luke in the house. What's up, Luke? What's up, man? Luke and the two little crew.
Lisa Ray.
You and your daddy.
Ice Cube. Crystal Wilson.
I'm just trying to turn you on to some game.
Bernie Mac.
Giselle.
And AJ Johnson.
Y'all tripping, man. My neck is hurt. Fellas, we got covered to the stage. We got a veteran. She started out dancing in the late 1800s. Give it up for Trish.
The Players Club.
Make the money. Don't let it make you.
Everybody likes when a girl shakes something. Don't pull nothing.
Dream, 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 dream. Dream, dream, dream when I want you. In my arms when I want you. And all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. Dream, dream, dream when I feel blue in the night and I need you to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I have to do is dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine anytime, night or day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream. Dream, 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 dream. I can make you mine, taste your lips of wine day. Only trouble is, gee whiz, I'm dreaming my life away. I need you so that I could die. I love you so, and that is why whenever I want you, all I have to do is dream, 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 dream.
Justice.
BBC Hereford and Worcester.
It's like this. I'm that guy, you're so fly. Gotta get a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm that guy, you're so fly. I gotta get a piece of that sweet potato pie. Now the way up to date with the homies is straight. Picking up a buddy on the way, my homie. Ever you wanna call it, a piece to your crazy alcoholics, folk. Making the proper remedy. Cause when I hit it, honey's and demons. Say you won't whine, yeah, I guess that's fine. But high is the sky when you're talking about mass. Now, my pie got a friend named Gina. Got me all straight, now my tip won't bend. Now I'm through for the rest of the night. Unless I find a piece of pie, whether it's roots or tight. Look ahead, I done found a chick. Yummy for the tea, jelly mixing the sweet. Say that talk, cause I don't wanna be your man. Just need a little lucid, do you understand? I'm not messed up and I don't know why. Really kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper with fly. So make me want a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper with fly. So make me want a piece of that sweet potato pie. Thinking about what I'm gonna do today. 40 and my homies about 8. I thought about going to the movies, but ain't nothing like a bunch of proper fly hoochies. Dressed like a player, can't wear nothing less. So simple fly, yeah, even if it ain't jets. Flick a couple of shots, now I roll to the spot. Body straight, keep it, wanna know what I got. Well, 1, 2, 3, here comes the D. Look at that booty. And now I'm ready for your switches. A gang of hip liquor, do you get the picture? And so much love for your yells. And peace, love, and hoochies from my love down pale. And I'ma stay fly. And keep me a piece of that sweet potato pie. Now I need a chick that's proper white fly. So make me want a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and it's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper white fly. So make me want a piece of that sweet potato pie. The fellas wanna have a barbecue tonight. I think it's on about 5. They say it's gonna have plenty Daisy Dukes, and that says it's gonna be live. So I'm gonna grab me a player suit, cause ain't a damn thing changed. And now I'm proper when dying mix, but man do I feel strange. So I'ma go down to the liquor store and find my friend named Jean. 6 straight on for the flyest pie. I'm breaking off a proper twin. And now it's time to mix and look for the proper mix. And run a little game on the PYT and tell it to us something like this. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper and fly. So break me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper and fly. So break me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm all messed up and I don't know why. Feeling kinda freaky and that's no lie. Now I need a chick that's proper and fly. So break me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm all messed up and I don't know why.
See them in the flesh. Not long to wait. Kylie now, it's BBC Hereford and Worcester. She can't get you out of her head.
Boy, your love and a song I think about. I just can't get you out.
It's Kylie, bit of a classic for you. It's really old now, that one, isn't it? Can't get you out of my head. It's BBC Hereford and Worcester. Shall we have a look at the weather forecast? Who was chilly today? Hands up if you got a bit nippy at times. I was sitting around today, doing some paperwork, and that got me cold. But it's not too bad. Tonight, we've got some clear spells developing during the first part of the night, but there will still be a bit of cloud around, and it'll turn cloudier during the early hours of tomorrow morning, but it should stay dry. Temperatures overnight, a balmy 3 degrees. After the last couple of nights, that will feel a little warmer. Tomorrow, it's going to start mostly cloudy but dry. Later on, it's going to turn overcast with outbreaks of heavy rain moving in from the south, falling heavy at times with a local risk of thunder, and it will be breezy. Maximum temperatures tomorrow of 13 Celsius. So that's for your Thursday. Friday, we're expecting a dry and sunny day. Although some areas of cloud will linger in the morning, but it's generally going to be quite nice, and it's going to be a little bit milder as well. So up to about 17, 18 degrees by Friday. That's going to feel a lot different. Clear skies overnight and into Saturday, and then it'll become a bit more unsettled. We've got scattered showers sweeping in from the west. These will clear throughout the evening, and we've got variable cloud and isolated showers for Sunday and Monday, but staying milder. I'm clinging on to that one.
The sound of Herefordshire and Worcestershire.
Together, we can make a difference. BBC.
Hereford and Worcester.
Are you a fan of Barry Humphries? R.I.P. Barry Humphries. Bless his little soul. He was so funny. Well, anyway, he sadly passed away earlier in the week. Well, at the weekend. He was 89. And we have managed to, track down, he got in touch with us, someone who was actually his driver. I mean, I've got to get to the bottom of this, but we're going to get him on the show in the next 5 minutes.
I hate confrontation.
Sun is shining, there's plenty of light. A new day is dawning, sunny and bright. But after I've been crying all night, the sun is cold and the new day seems old. Since I lost my baby, since I lost my baby, oh, since I lost my baby, since I lost my baby. Birds are singing and the children are playing. There's plenty of work and the bosses are paying. Not a sad word should a young heart be saying. What fun is a bore, and with money I'm poor. Since I lost my baby, since I lost my baby, oh, since I lost my baby, since I lost my baby. Next time I'll be kinder. Next time I'll be kinder. Won't you please help me find her? Please help me find her. Someone just remind me. Someone just remind me. Of this love she left behind. Of this love she left behind. Till I find her, I'll be trying. Every day I'm more inclined to find her, inclined to find her, inclined to find my baby. Been looking everywhere, baby. I really care. Oh, determination is fading fast. Desperation is a thing of the past. Can't see how my hope's gonna last. Good things are bad, and what's happy is sad. Since I lost my baby, since I lost my baby, oh, since I lost my baby, since I lost my baby, I feel so bad. Since I lost, I feel so sad. Since I lost baby is wrong. This heart is hard to carry on. Since I lost, I'm alive as can be.
It's the title of the song, in case you didn't quite get it. Now, though, we're going to talk about the wonderful Australian star Barry Humphries, who sadly passed away last weekend at the age of 89. Of course, best known as Dame Edna and Sir Les Patterson. I forgot about Les, actually. Anyway, he's entertained audiences throughout his very long career. I grew up adoring Dame Edna Everage and Barry, of course, as well, as a result. Well, in a moment, we're going to speak to somebody who actually knew him well. I cannot wait to quiz David, who used to drive him around many years ago. But first of all, the BBC's David Sillitoe, our entertainment correspondent, looks back at Barry Humphries' brilliant life.
Dame Edna Everage! Hello, Potter!
Dame Edna always said she was born with a priceless gift, the ability to laugh at the misfortunes of others.
I am weightless, and you could do with losing a little. Success has gone to your jowls, Russell Harty.
Oh, you're being very, very cruel.
You're putting in drama.
For more than 50 years, she took pleasure in saying the unsayable.
I've had a little work done, but
Have you?
not quite as much as some of us
Don't look at me when you say that. Keep your eyes that way.
No, but the thing is, you are still recognisable. That's what I like.
She was so familiar, it was easy to forget that behind the glasses and frocks was a man called Barry Humphries.
That's me standing outside. Oh, one of the big clocks they've got over there.
He arrived in Britain in 1959, an Australian comedian with a devilish delight in satirising the people he'd grown up with.
Most of us who go to England try to get rid of our Australian accents if we can, because we've always felt, with our accents, rather inferior, you see, to our English cousins. As indeed we are.
The real Barry Humphries was an art lover, a painter, a collector of rare books. Polite, a loyal friend, the opposite of another of his characters.
And I have the honour to be the Australian Cultural Attaché.
How are you, Sir John? Les Patterson. Barry, g'day.
But he and Sir Les did have one thing in common: drink. It took a divorce and a spell in hospital to convince him to give up the booze in 1971.
I had such a wonderful trip overseas, you know.
But throughout his life, he always had Edna. From her beginnings as a mousy parody of the suburban Melbourne values he'd escaped.
Still, I dare say in a week or so I will have my Australian accent back again.
A little, what is it, little choker, darling?
Yes, it's Venetian.
What, Venetian?
To the brash housewife superstar.
Gorgeous, darling. Did it all come off the one chandelier?
Yes.
It's my nice. I pride myself on my nice.
For many, Edna was so real, so engaging, it was easy to forget that the wit, the charm, the sheer audacity was all down to the brilliant comic mind of a man called Barry Humphries.
I've been draped. Nice to help with you.
Oh, that is so gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, lovely, lovely memories and such excellent comedy. Well, we've had a caller who says he was Barry Humphries' driver when he came to England, David Harrop, and he joins me now. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Katie. How are you?
I am well, thank you. First of all, well, lucky you for all of that wonderful exposure, but I'm very sorry for your loss because you must feel it.
Yeah, I do very much. I've not been chauffeuring him now for quite a few years, but the memories of the times when I did chauffeur him they'll be with me until the day I die. We had so much fun together. I never quite knew when we were in the car together whether he was going to talk to me as Barry Humphries or Dame Edna or Les Patterson. He would swap characters, just like the wind. But I miss those days and will miss them, but cherish them because, I was very, very fortunate to have that opportunity.
Oh, of course. I mean, what a fantastically, wonderfully entertaining job to have.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's always what people want to know, isn't it? What are these comedians like? Are they as funny and as kind of light, if you like? Do they bring as much atmosphere to a room when they're not working, in inverted commas?
Well, he certainly did in the back of the Daimler that I used to drive him in, yes. That is when he was taking on the character of either Dame Edna or Les Patterson, which he did regularly as we were talking. But I had many times when there was just Barry Humphries in the back.
Right.
And we would have some lovely conversations. He was, how can I put it? He was actually quite a quietly spoken man. He was very gracious. He was interested in everybody. And I noticed when I took him to events, he would have time for everybody from the cleaner right up to, you know, whoever was organizing the event and all the other stars and artists that were there. He treated everybody in the same way. But I think what was so lovely about him was that, you know, he ribbed everybody and said the unthinkable in the way that in today's politically correct society we've lost that joy, we've lost that innocence, we've lost that humour because people are frightened to say anything anymore, and he wasn't. You know, he came at the right time when it was okay to do it. He said, I know in 2019, he made a comment in Australia, and he'd just been given, he was in the Melbourne Comedy Awards show, and they'd given him a special award called the Barry Award. And it was unfortunately taken from him because he'd made some comment about transgender. And he said at the time, I just feel as though I'm now being imprisoned and I can't play my characters anymore. It was very sad. He was very much of the ilk, you know, let's just be open, let's be fun, let's not get too serious and keep our sense of humor, because, you know, human life is it's funny.
Yes.
You know, it's a funny thing that we're all kind of, you know, we kind of can laugh at ourselves, and he just laughed at people in a wonderful way. But of course, people expected it, and they loved it, and that's what was so entertaining about it.
You're right. I mean, how wonderful to be exposed to that as well. Did it sort of rub off on you a bit, do you think, David?
Yes, I think it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
Yes, I think it does. Because I do sometimes say some dreadful things, but of course, I say them mainly to my sort of friends, you know, people who know me well.
Yeah,
I
careful.
don't say it to strangers because I'm not dressed up as Dame Edna or Les Patterson, but maybe if I did, I could get away with it.
You know, there's something to be said for that sort of pseudonym or the alter ego, isn't there? I mean, the freedom that offers.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you worked with Barry?
Oh, golly. I've not worked that one out. It must be at least 15, 16, 17 years ago, I would think.
Well, time flies, doesn't it? I mean, I bet it feels like yesterday.
It does.
Yeah,
it does. I remember one time I was taking him. I was trying to think what it was we were going to, but we were going to the South Coast. It was Brighton, and it was either an interview with TVS, which was like an ITV station, or it was or Meridian, or it was a show he was doing there. Anyway, I picked him up at Heathrow in this white Daimler that we always use. And we were either on the M25 or the M3. I forget which motorway we were on at the time. And he was chattering away in the back. And I was looking at the dashboard, and I noticed the temperature gauge rising gradually, getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And I didn't want to say anything to him, but I was panicking inside in the front of my chauffeur's outfit. And then all of a sudden, this black smoke started to issue from underneath either side of the bonnet. And of course, set against this gleaming white Daimler, it really stood out. And so I immediately reacted, pulled into the hard shoulder, and I said, Barry, I'm terribly sorry about this, but I'm going to have to ask you to get out of the car. I think it's on fire. And so I
don't know why we're laughing.
I opened the back door, and he got out, and we both clambered up the embankment. He was dressed as Dame Edna, you know, with all the glasses on, because he was going to an event, and he was already dressed. as he often did. He didn't dress when he got there. He arrived as the character, you see. More often than not, he arrived as the character. So we both clambered up the embankment of this motorway with him dressed as Dame Edna and me in my chauffeur's outfit. And, of course, the reaction that we got from the passing drivers was just unforgettable. It was a scream, absolute scream. People were tooting, waving, shouting. I don't think they quite knew what was going on, really, or whether they even recognized it was him. But they knew, with this great big white Daimler with all the black smoke oozing out the bonnet and this very glamorous sort of middle-aged woman and me in my chauffeur's outfit. It was a scream. It really was. And he said, should I go and get some, because we had some gladioli in the car. He said, should I go and get the gladioli and throw it at the passers-by? And I said, no, Barry, you're not going back into the car. And I said, even if you do, we'll probably get arrested. It was wonderful.
Such gorgeous memories. Oh, that is wonderful. I mean, can you ever imagine? I'm sorry, Barry, I'm going to have to ask you to get out of the car. I think it's on fire. Oh, yes, I can imagine the sense of humour definitely rubbed off on you. David, how wonderful to speak to you. And I'm really sorry that it's under such sad circumstances. But I think the report we heard there from our entertainment correspondent, being introduced as a look back on Barry Humphrey's brilliant life is a real softener, because it absolutely was.
Yeah, it was a brilliant life, and I am sad, very sad that he's gone, but I feel just very privileged to have had the experience and had the memories, and they'll live on forever, and hopefully some of his cheekiness and impudence will rub off on me too for the rest of my time.
I'm sort of getting that vibe from you, David, actually. It's been a giggle talking to you, that's for sure. Did you drive anyone else famous around when you were a chauffeur?
Well, I did. I don't know whether I dare say the name, though.
Well, if they're still alive, maybe not.
Oh, well, they are. They are still alive, but he's also Australian. So.
Okay. Maybe tell me off air.
You what, sorry?
Tell me off air.
I'll tell you off air. Yes,
yeah. I think you should write a book one day, actually, David. It sounds like you've got quite a few stories to tell.
I think I should, I think I should, Katie, yes, definitely.
Oh, really good to speak to you. I'm so glad you got in touch. Have a wonderful evening, and it's been really a privilege to listen to some of your memories. Thank you, David.
You're very welcome. Thank you too. Have a great evening.
Thank you. David Harrop there, who was a chauffeur and regularly drove Barry Humphries, and what a great laugh they must have had. Can you imagine being in the car with those two? Oh, I'd love that. Anyway, big thanks to David for just reminding us what a wonderful person Barry Humphries was. Sadly, we lost him last weekend at the age of 89. It's BBC Hereford and Worcester, and on the way we'll squeeze in another tune from Bobby Brown after this.
2 more months of... I don't want you hanging out in the streets. I want you to finish school. Because without an education, the only kind of work you're going to get is selling drugs, pimping women, or working security for Eddie Murphy.
Miramax Films presents Sean Wayans.
It ain't all about the size of the boat. It's the motion in the ocean.
Marlon Wayans.
What you say about my mama?
And Keenan Ivory Wayans. They're not bad.
Now, in a circular motion, rub your stomach and pat your head.
They just never had any role models.
Let me tell you young punks something. Don't let nobody give you... Bartholomew! Didn't I tell you to clean your room? We got a problem?
From the creators of Scary Movie and Scary Movie 2.
I said, do we have a problem?
Comes a movie the New York Post calls hilarious.
Yes?
Hello? Hey, yo, man, you paged me? Yeah. You ready to be out? Yeah, let's move.
One of the funniest comedy creations in years, says the Dallas Morning News.
Homie?
And Gene Siskel says it's got a lot of big laughs.
Now, children, what do you say when you meet a nice man?
Are you my daddy?
Own the only DVD.
Yeah.
With 14 words in the title. Don't be a menace to South Central.
Well, congratulations. You got yourself a job.
While drinking your juice in the hood.
Hey, man, how you work this radio? One more time.
Drop it.
why you failed to realize that you might not ever get another try. Girl, think about it before you leave. Body's got a brand new swing. If you wanna do your own thing, I hear what you're saying. Two can play that game you're playing. Two can play that game. Yeah, two can play that game. Two. Lately you've been acting mighty strange. To me it seems your attitude has changed, and suddenly you just don't seem the same. Instead of playing all those silly games, girl, think about it before you leave. Body's got a brand new swing. If you wanna do your own thing, I hear what you're saying. Two can play that game you're playing, yeah. Two can play that game. Two can play that game. Girl, think about it before you leave. Body's got a brand new swing. If you wanna do your own thing, I hear what you're saying. Two can play that game you're playing, yeah. Two can play that game. Yeah, two can play that game. Lately you've been acting mighty strange. To me it seems your attitude has changed, and suddenly you just don't seem the same. Instead of playing all those silly games, girl, think about it before you leave. Body's got a brand new swing. If you wanna do your own thing, I hear what you're saying. Two can play that game you're playing, yeah. Two can play that game. No, 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 no. I said two. Whoa, I said two. Two can play that game.
Oh, it's Bobby Brown. That's a classic for you, isn't it? Like that one. We were going to squeeze in one more song, but we were yakking too much with David Harrop. So nice to speak to David about Barry Humphries. In fact, just really nice to speak about Barry Humphries because, you know, all have a soft spot for him. And, you know, we were talking a little bit about some of the slightly politically incorrect jokes that weren't politically incorrect when he first started his career, but became potentially more offensive later on, that really upset him, that he'd upset other people. But also we forgave him because, you know, there was no malice intended. And of course, things have changed. Things have changed. But what a great career Barry Humphries had. And do you know what I think I'm going to do, which is something I thought I might do after the news of his passing, and I haven't got round to it yet, is go home tonight and look at some wonderful clips of Dame Edna Everage and the incredible humour that came with it. Great to speak to David, who knew him reasonably well by the sounds of things.
The sound. The sound. The sound of Herefordshire and Worcestershire. And all the music you love. The music you love. BBC.
Hereford and Worcester.
It is BBC Hereford and Worcester on a Wednesday night. Oh, we've had some fun already tonight, haven't we? How are we going to top that first hour? Love talking about horses. So we talked about Badminton horse trials. We had the director on, Jane Tuckwell. I know. If you missed it, rewind. If you're a bit of a horse sport fan, rewind on BBC Sounds and have a listen. We've also just had a brilliant chat about the gorgeous comedian Barry Humphries with his driver, his UK driver. I know. Anyway, very much enjoyed that. Thank you for your company. And we're going to keep it going in the next hour of the show. We welcome back to the airwaves Keith Slade. Now, Keith is the conductor of the Worcestershire Symphony Orchestra, but he knows a thing or two about classical music, and he is a bit of a laugh as well. He's going to tell us about their upcoming concerts and what they've been up to. And we'll always learn a thing or two with Keith.
Kate Justice.
though, isn't it? I like that one. There's so much good sort of dancey, poppy music around at the moment. It's quite hard to break through, so well done. We've got another of that ilk on the way. Then we're going to play something you can sing along to from Eagle Eye Cherry. And then we might actually even have some classical music on the show. Yep, we're going to welcome the conductor, Keith Slade, to the show. He's been on before, and he's actually a barrel of laughs. No, you know, I don't want to pigeonhole people, but you think someone who's the conductor of a big symphony orchestra might be quite serious. He's not. But he's ever so clever, and he knows a lot about music and the history of music and how it all works, and it's just fascinating to talk to him. So we're going to bring him on and find out about their next gig. I ask stupid questions like, you know, do you take requests with your band and things like that? And so it's a bit of a giggle. So we might have some classical music for you very shortly. I caught the train again today from Ledbury, and I noticed, and I can't believe I hadn't noticed this before, that there is actually a phone box, like a proper red one, at Ledbury train station with a phone in, not even a defibrillator or a load of books. Yes, an actual phone that you can use and make phone calls on. 60p. I wanted to know, is it still 10p? No, it's not. I haven't used a phone box, I don't think, for 20 years. I mean, I tried to use one once, but I didn't know how because they've changed it. I tried to use one when my phone ran out and I was at Heathrow Airport and I needed to make a call. And in the end, I just borrowed somebody else's mobile. But, yeah, 60p to use the public phone box, which works at Ledbury Station. You pick it up, you get the dialing tone. I wonder if you get the operator if you dial 100. Is that still a thing? I don't even know. I'm going to try that tomorrow.
Oh, man. It's another hole in the world, y'all. Me and my baby, we didn't know our way around. Stumbled up on this place on the funky side of town. Looked so shabby, we started not to go in. But after a while, we decided to walk on in. Once we was inside, our doubts went away. Everything looked familiar, we fell right in place. Jukebox in the corner, people on the dance floor. They was having a good time, we didn't want to go. We were right back, yeah. Just another hole in the wall. Oh, we was having a good time, y'all. Oh, yes, we was. Just another hole in the wall. Listen, y'all. Everything they served, it hit the spot. The beer was cold, the food was hot. I never seen the place, but after I walked through the door, it was just like I had been here before. Music playing loud, smoke filled the air. Liquor and beer, oh, it was everywhere. Folks on the dance floor doing the
Right back to the game after this commercial break.
Play on, play out. I'm what you might call a player.
10 o'clock, Katrina.
Hi.
2 o'clock, Amber.
Man, that girl is persuasion. You mean Caucasian.
4 o'clock, Robin. 4:05, Robin's husband.
What's that smell?
What smell?
Just another day in the life of a player.
You want to dance?
What is life?
All I know is a brother who got more than one woman and looking for some more is a pimp.
Well, that covers just about every man I know. Now, Uncle Fred, that's the Mac of this family, the original player.
See, a woman who's a player herself wants to be played.
Yo.
Yeah! Needs to be played for the continuation of this man-woman thing.
Open up the door!
I mean, it's eternal. You know, like the smell of chitlins.
I'll be damned if it ain't the before and before shot. Looking like two big M&Ms sitting over there.
Now that's cool.
Bill Bellamy. Natalie Desselle.
You a beast about to get busted.
Bernie Mac.
Your mama's a man. I'll bust your head wide open.
Pierre.
Liar.
J. Anthony Brown. Gilbert Gottfried.
It's onion booty. It makes a grown man cry.
And Max Julian as the original player. Def Jam's How to Be a Player.
I know you ain't looking over there. Don't you know I will cut you?
Directed by Lionel C. Martin.
Play on, play it, play on, play it. We out, we out.
Close the curtains, 'cause all we need is candlelight. You and me, and a bottle of wine, and I'll hold you tonight. Well, we know I'm going away, and how I wish it was so. So take this wine and drink with me. Let's delay our misery. Sing tonight and fight the break of dawn.